Greetings, Internet friends. Welcome to another episode of the Synergy Cafe online show, featuring speaker, entertainer, close-up illusionist, and marketing alchemist, MagicBrad. It's the Internet lifestyle show about career, finance, relationships, spirituality, and wellness. We're moving the online chatter over to real-life activity. And now, please welcome your host of Synergy Cafe, MagicBrad.
Hey, Internet friends, welcome to the show. This is MagicBrad here at Synergy Cafe. Do you have your beverage of choice? I do. Mine is coffee. So this is exciting to me because a lot of you that do know of me, I've been in the event industry a long time, and I get to talk to somebody that's also in the event industry, and his name is Thomas Serrano. So let me find him in the green room. He's in there enjoying our beautiful hors d'oeuvres. Thomas, where are you? There he is somewhere. There he is.
Hello, Brad. How are you?
Good day. How are you, Thomas?
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I'm here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we got one of the nice sunny days in comparison to those blizzards. So I think the snow is behind us. Where are you located?
I'm in New York City, in Manhattan, and we have a beautiful day.
Yeah. So you go to that special event there, that event expo that's over there?
I've been, I think, many years ago, not recently. No.
Yeah, I started one here in Minneapolis. It's the event expo.
Okay, great.
Very similar. Not as big as theirs. I don't have any celebrities like Gary Vaynerchuk coming to mind. I don't have the budget for that. We're just local.
Gary V. Yeah. I like that gentleman.
Yeah, he's very straightforward, isn't he?
Yes.
So how long have you been in the event industry?
So you connect people since 1975. I was born in 1975. I really started my career in 1997, technically, because it was my first event that I put together as a student. Yeah. But I really started to work in the industry, be paid for it next year, 1998.
Okay, that's interesting because I graduated high school in 1975.
I graduated high school in 1992 in France and 1993 in Minnesota. So.
Well, that's right. You said you were here in Minnesota, so you know what it's like here.
Yes, I loved it. I really enjoyed it.
I've been to New York, and I also been to France, but I didn't leave the hotel.
No?
No, it was just a stopover from Spain.
Ah, okay. You got me worried. Okay.
Yeah, of course, you got to get out. Yeah.
So I studied out of Paris, just to put everything in context. I learned my job and I spent 10 years in Paris, and that's where I really started to, enjoy it more than a job, and it became my passion. And that was, the job that I guess I wanted to do my entire career. So I'm still doing the same thing.
So what got you interested in the event industry?
It's just I was a student in high school and I volunteer for sport events, and I thought it was really interesting to see, all these come together. Mm-hmm. I was young. I was 16 years old. I volunteered, and after that, I was like, oh, I wish I could organize one of my own. So that's what I did as a student a couple of years after. And after that, it was quite a successful event in Nice, in the French Riviera. And after that, I was like, because I'm originally from Cannes in the French Riviera. And after that, I was like, oh, I would love to learn more, but have professional teaching me, not, just coming up with my own ideas and my common sense. So I went to one of the most, at that time, successful and well-known event agency out of Paris. And I started, as an intern, and that's how everything started.
So do you focus on any specific niche, like high class events or corporate events or weddings?
Yeah, so we don't do any private event, no weddings, nothing, only corporate event. We are mostly now well known for luxury. Mm-hmm. With my French background, it's true that it does help. But initially in Paris, I started with corporate events. Really, those large French corporations are gathering, their best employees or best clients, launching new products. That's what I've done a lot. After I went to what we used to call in French the general public event, is when you are, in a stadium. I did the opening and the closing ceremony of the 2003 World Athletic Championship in the Stade de France. I did a lot of big shows on the Champs-Élysées, La Défense. So I did in the city of Lyon. So I did those big, performances for the general public, which usually were free to attend. And after that, I started to specialize more in luxury. And right after that, I decided to move to New York. And my boss, who was English, married to a French lady, told me, with your accent and your background in France, because I had worked in the past for Chanel and some luxury brand already in Paris, he said, why don't we start with a boutique agency out of New York that will be dedicated to luxury brand? So I've done that since 2008 out of New York City. And it happens that the biggest group, which are, LVMH Group, Kering Group, or Richemont Group, have a lot of French managers. And that's how I started my first connections, trying to bring those large events to New York or to the USA, and making sure that we keep that French touch, but we also have, not only the French touch, but also understanding the American audience. So I'm trying to do that, build that bridge between those two cultures, French and American. And we do have a few corporate clients that like to work with us because they like the attention to detail that we have, the quality of the delivery, the execution, and our creativity. But the bread and butter for many years now has been luxury. And I came as an employee of Havas, which is one of the top, global advertising and PR agency, media buy agency in the world. And the second in France after Publicis. And after that, 11 years with them, not knowing that COVID was coming up, I opened my own agency with my business partner in January of 2020. And COVID almost stopped us, slowed us down so much that we thought we were going to pivot to do something else. But we kept going, and, we pivoted to digital, we pivoted to more consulting opportunities until everything came back and we're back to normal.
So it sounds like you have a lot of experience, so that was pretty helpful with you to focus on the luxury industry. Because I know a lot of people, they say, well, what kind of events do you plan? They go, oh, we'll plan anything. And as soon as you do that, you have no expertise. You're kind of like, I'll throw it together with duct tape,
It's true. Yeah, we are luxury. It's a niche. You have to know, what you're talking about. We do mostly, because people sometimes get confused between fashion and luxury. We don't do fashion, we do luxury. And within luxury, we call it hard luxury, which is mostly jewelry, watches, and, liquor, all those premium, we just deliver an event for Montblanc out of Richemont Group for a set of new writing instrument. Last year, we launched globally a new watch for Hublot that belongs to LVMH. Before that, we worked for Van Cleef and Arpels that belongs to Richemont Group for, high jewelry event for their best clients. So that's what we do. We design and produce those unique moments that have to be, according to us, meaningful, meaning very unique to the brand, that have a meaning for the brand to put together, that there's a story behind it, that there is some legitimacy, but also meaningful for the audience. Why would those super wealthy people attend an event with one of these brands if it's not meaningful to them? Yeah. They have usually the freedom and the means to go wherever they want, and to select one of our events says a lot. And after that, we build on that storytelling that is usually rational, meaningful, and we try to make it emotional with something that is outstanding in terms of emotion, and that will bring memories, that will be, something that people will remember for sure. And I think that's the definition of an event. There is too many corporations that claim that they do special event, but they are not that special, because they are just gathering some good people in a good venue with good food, and they call it special. Yeah. And I think those assets are not good enough nowadays to make it,
It needs to be an experience. And you had mentioned earlier about bridging the gap between France and the United States, because you need to understand the different cultures. Like I
Yes.
remember years ago, they were talking about like in Japan, when you give someone your business card, they hold it and look at it, they respect it, they honor it. Whereas in the States, they look at it, oh, nice card, they fold it in half, put it in their pocket. And
Yeah.
that's not the good thing to do if you want to look luxurious.
Yeah. I think we're trying to do French brands are usually at least a century old, and they don't want to look old. They want to look modern. They want to look contemporary, relevant. So we're trying to translate the craftsmanship and the quality of the product, but in a modern way. And when you come to the US, it's a modern country. So the American wants to, enjoy. So it's not only about displaying beautiful product and make it, very nice. It's also how to engage with them. American people, I think, are more into having fun than French people. So
The experiential thing, the
yes,
events here, that's what the people want. They don't really want to go home with a mug with your logo on it. They really don't care about that. They want that memory.
yes. So that's what we're trying to do. And we have the same tools as everybody else. We can hire an entertainer. We can do some design on a beautiful architecture. It's, we can hire a chef or no chef. It's just within that toolbox of events, fireworks, this is all the same toolbox. How can we combine those elements that will make it very special for that guest and that brand? And this is where, magic happens. And we're trying to always study a lot about the brand that we're working with, because now we start to know very well our audience in the US. We have been delivering events for, millionaires and billionaires for 15 years. But every brand has a specialty, and every time they launch a new product, we try to understand where is that product coming from and how to make it somewhat of an experience, as you said, for the guest. So this is where our clients like working with us, is because we make sure it's always unique and special to everyone.
It's impressive that you're aware and conscious of that, because times have changed. A luxury event used to be on a yacht with tuxedos and black tie.
Yes.
And now it's probably on a jet boat with shorts and t-shirts. And it's just as luxurious,
Yeah, that's true. It's much more laid back. It's true. The audience has changed a lot. You have still some very classic, old money, wealthy people in the US, but you also have a new audience that is much younger and will like to participate in those type of events in a very different way. But again, when we select a location, it's because we had made some research and that location makes sense for the story we want to tell. And those locations are most of the time locations that are not for rental, that are not like a specific, rental location. We're usually going to places that people don't have access to. I think that's what luxury is all about. It's about giving access to specific, services, product, or location that you will not have on a regular basis. Same with a chef. If it's just to invite a 3-star Michelin chef to an event, that the guests could do the same. They should also, go to his restaurant or pay him to cook at home. They have the means to do that. So how do we make sure that we go beyond those?
You have to stay far away from the cookie cutter kind of thing, because someone goes to it, I saw this last week.
Yes. That's what we do for a living, and that's what keeps it exciting for us.
So let me do a little, of course, sort of commercial here. It's Thomas Serrano. It's an exclamation-group is his website. So that's it, exclamation-group, if you want to know more about that. And I had another question. I was wondering, do you have any program that are you teaching anybody how to do this stuff, or do you have a book or something where people could understand it? Because you obviously have a lot more experience because you worked in the industry, and now you take that knowledge and you're doing your own thing now.
Yeah. So I go with pleasure to different universities, to Columbia here in New York City, several times to the MBA, which is about luxury and marketing. I went to, ESSEC in Paris, which is very famous. I spoke to, many different universities here and in France. I don't have a book. Maybe later on I will do one, related to all the case studies and all the adventure that I had. We try in our website to really spend time when it's allowed by our clients to put the entire case study so people can see what was the challenge, the marketing challenge, what was the creative solution, and what was the result, the return on investment.
Yeah.
So we try to be, as you said, like very, with a lot of pedagogy for people to learn more about the event. But I'm here today, but usually I don't really brag about what I do, and I'm pretty behind the scene. So that's not my forte to, publish a book or go on a podcast. I just like to do it, but I'm not really good at, advertising it.
Well, that's probably good too. You got your own thing, and then when the planners are looking for you to put together their event, they can look at those case studies and understand that you know what you're talking about. Because in this event industry, we've been there, done that, but there's always going to be something new that happens. But usually we can kind of plan for things. Like there was this woman that used to exhibit in my show all the time, and she always wanted an extra chair for her husband because he had a bad back. So being a planner, I would always put a chair behind their booth because I knew that she was going to ask for it. So if you got that experience,
Yes.
if they, say one high-end client did it over here, you can maybe know that we can take care of that. We won't have that problem because we've already been there, done that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good example. Yeah, we always try to, anticipate, apply what we already know to save time, energy, and money to our client. And we try, when you were saying the bridge between French and, between France and the US is that, that compromise. French people love to have dinner and stay forever and have, long discussions. US people like more to entertain, maybe listen to music, I don't know, dance, have more cocktail than seated dinner sometimes. So French people like to have dinner at 8:30, 9 p.m. American people like to have dinner earlier. So all those are the basic debate that seems very simple, but you want to make sure that you make the right choice for people to, feel at home when they come to your event.
Yeah.
And that is not too boring and it's not too short at the same time. So this is what we do. This is all the recipe that we're trying to apply, and try also to map that emotional journey. I learned that from a Broadway producer, Brad. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but I thought it was really interesting. On Broadway, when the producers show on the script, they will map the emotional journey of the audience. So from the beginning to the end, they will tell you, oh, we are going through, I don't know, a moment of sadness. We're going through a moment of nostalgia. Now we are at that, peak of joy. And after we go back to, and when I learned that, I was like, wow, that's so logic to me. And I've never done it. So now I applied that technique to my events in addition of the, classic run-off show that, with all the columns, and when you have lighting, audio, video, live actors, whatever you have, we have an additional column, and we try to understand what's the emotional journey that we're trying to give to our audience. In addition of the emotional journey, we're also working on the format. Is it a collective moment or is it an individual moment? In that exhibit, do we want people to go by their own and have that quiet moment, and it's maybe about a movie about the heritage of the brand, and we'll hit, nostalgia in a very individual moment. And after that, maybe we have a cocktail with a live band, and we just want people to enjoy the live music, not interact with them, let them network. So that's another type of emotion. And after that, maybe there is a collective moment where you all want to listen to the CEO. And after, maybe you want them to, I don't know, dance, whatever. So you have to map that emotional journey, look back, and, make sure that you're aligned with the experience you're about to deliver, and make sure you're hitting, the marketing, objective. Because at the end of the day, we are an event marketing agency. We deliver marketing experiences. We're paid by our client to make their client dream about buying that new watch or buying that new necklace. So this is our job, to make it not only seamless and perfect event in terms of production, but have that extra, moment where goosebumps are welcome and where our clients are just in awe with the product and just want to try it, want to buy it, want to, go home with it.
Well, they say that people buy from emotion and justify with logic. So if you're able to track that for a client and actually create that experience, because that's kind of what event planning is. I mean, in a deeper sense, it's an art. So you're actually pulling an emotion out, and you can do that with lighting and music. And we did a thing for a snowmobile company here in Minnesota once in the summer, and we just created white carpet with blue lighting, and now you turn the temperature down, makes it feel like winter.
Yes.
That was a long time ago, though. It sounds like you've got much more.
No, but when it's unexpected, that's what you want to do. Like the element of surprise is really important. As you said, we're planning event, but you need to plan the surprise. You need to plan that moment where people are caught by surprise in a nice way, and where they will, recognize, for example, that we're in the summer, but you invite them, into the winter, and they enjoy that 5 minutes, experience where they are traveling through the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all have to remain, logic. One day I was asked by the Four Seasons to celebrate one of their brand new hotel in Toronto, because they're from Canada, and they came to me, and we never done it, but they came to me during a lunch, and they asked me, what would you do for that 1 year anniversary? It is our first year brand new hotel. And out of the blue, like this, during the lunch, I said, why don't we put a beautiful tree in the middle of that conference room that you booked, where you're going to have your best client and invite your partners, help you build that hotel, and just go through the Four Seasons. That's your name. That tree will go from, we'll start in the fall with a cocktail. We'll go through winter for the main course. We'll finish, by dessert, and it will be spring, and we'll finish in the summer with music, DJ, and dancing, and just those. And for me, it was just, very simple way of translating their brand into. So same as what you were saying, when you do those type of things, people enjoy it because they recognize the efforts, they understand the meaning, and how magical can it be? As you said, you do it with lighting, you do it with video, you do it with wind, you do it with smell, you do it with the food, and that combination of all those elements makes it, magic, Brad.
Yeah. Do you do the bitmap projections?
Yes, we've done many.
That's fascinating stuff. I went to a Cirque du Soleil event where they converted it. It was just amazing. It looked so real. It was just like.
Yeah, we call it the 4D projection. We project 3D into a building that is already the fourth, dimension. And those new techniques, I brought a lot of magic to, and I really admire Cirque du Soleil. I went to see the first show in Vegas maybe 15 years ago. I saw O, and I was amazed by the quality of the storytelling, the production. It was spectacular, but it was, romantic at the same way in some moments. The acrobatic moments were always, with a beautiful music. I mean, the combination was just perfect to me, and I like to go back every time I go to Vegas. I like to enjoy at least one of their shows, and they have been very disruptive. If you remember Circus before them, it was a challenging industry that was basically dying, and they have been able to disrupt and reinvent circus in a very modern way, as I'm trying to do sometime with my clients, taking some old heritage posters or collection or movies that we get and how to make them relevant to today, and having that storytelling becoming relevant for an audience that live in 2023, admire what happened, in the 19th century, but they don't want to be there. They want to be now. They want to be in the moment. So that's also, and projection is a beautiful way of doing that. We have done a lot of large projection. It has one big advantage, is that immersion. Can immerse everybody in the same. We try to do it in slow motion most of the time. So, people don't have too much things coming at them, especially during a dinner.
That's interesting.
Immersive dinner where you have a landscape, for example, that celebrate one of the brands. We have done it for Bulgari, for example. You were in the middle of the city of Rome, which is where Bulgari comes from. with those beautiful buildings. But you could see there was a bird, there was a boat, there was some wind into the tree. So it was live, but at the same time, it was not that, overpowering the dinner. And you have to choose your moment. You have to go crescendo. You cannot just people enter the room and just blast it.
Right.
So that's
almost
why
they don't even notice it until someone looks up and goes, "Oh my God, where'd the bird go?"
Yeah, and we have those, and sound design is really part of it. We work a lot in sound design, and I feel like sound design is usually forgotten. When you look at brand guidelines, sometimes that we receive from our global HQ of our client, they tell you exactly what to do with the invitation, how to, place the product. And usually sound design is completely, out of the scope, even though it is really important. So we make a lot of effort to design every moment, not only physically, but also, with some music or some sound design that are very specific to the moment.
Well, that's interesting stuff. That's where I've been with the whole concept of everything. I've always liked experiences. I don't need baggage. I like to just go. Like I go to Bali and I don't need to buy anything. I just want to be there.
Yes.
I can take that home with me and it doesn't cost anything. Well,
yes.
Thomas, is there anything else you'd like to share? And then I'm going to sign this off and beam it up to the universe.
No, if people want to reach out to the website, if they have any questions, any pieces of advice, doesn't have to be business. We're always happy to help and contribute to the event industry as a whole. So please do not hesitate, and we'll be happy to connect.
Okie doke. Well,
thank you, Brad.
For the time. I'll pop you into the green room, and if you want to stick around, I'll come visit.
Thank you.
Take care. Peace.
Thank you.
Well, there you got it. My new friend, Thomas. So here's how you get a hold of him in the exclamation group. You can zoom right over there and find his website. If you are somebody is going to be doing a luxury event, sounds like he can take care of it for you. And that was the deal. And here's his another look. That's him right there, Thomas Serrano. Okay. So peace, love, and happiness. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be good, be kind, be nice. Did I say be nice? I did. Be nice.